Whoa. Whoa. Sophie Cunningham bombing on DeWanna the scammer, Bonner. This is crazy. ESPN writing articles talking about Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese is the most disappointing thing. This is wild. This is wild, man. I want to say, before we even get into all that, I saw all y'all in my comments talking about, yo, be careful going on the Jason Whitlock show. We don't trust him. We rock with you, KTV. We don't trust, da-da-da. I appreciate all y'all getting in my comments, man, but I want to say this. Shout out to Ben Daniels, man. Me and Ben Daniels went on Jason Whitlock today, and we went off. We did our thing, man. Shout out to Jason Whitlock for having us on the platform, man. It was a blast. No messiness. Great conversation. Great dialogue. That Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever talk that y'all love to hear. It was great, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Share the channel and hit that bell notification. Before we get into all the Sophie bombing on DeWanna Bonner, before we even get into that, let's take a look at just a snippet of what happened on the Jason Whitlock show, Fearless, today.
I believe that this is more so a malpractice on the management. We had a play style last season. This was an easy gig, by the way. We had the number 3 scoring team in the league, the number 1 scoring team post-Olympic break. So people say, oh, Caitlin Clark's ball dominant. Kelsey Mitchell post-Olympic break averaged 23.5 points. So obviously, she was able to flourish with Caitlin Clark playing that way. Aaliyah Boston averaged a double-double. Obviously, she was able to flourish with Caitlin Clark playing that way. So this was an easy gig. You come here and bring your defense. Nobody watched the Connecticut Sun play basketball last year and said, hey, we really enjoyed this offense. This offense is really good. In a league, they were 8th in offense. Nobody wanted the Connecticut Sun offense. Stephanie White said she had been watching Caitlin Clark for 5 years. She loved her game, so you knew the style when you showed up. If Natasha Howard did not fit with the style you saw this team flourishing in last season, why'd you bring her? Why'd you go get people that do not fit the style that the big 3 showed last season? That is on the management. So, no, Caitlin Clark don't need to adjust. They still need to adjust to them. If you want to be on her team long-term, you figure it out. I'm fine with her being off the ball some. She played off the ball some even last year post-Olympic break when she was going off. The difference was Christy Sides actually had plays. They had a go-to backdoor play where Caitlin Clark got a lot of easy layups. Caitlin Clark got some good looks playing off ball with Christy Sides last season post-Olympic break. She doesn't get any good looks playing off ball in Stephanie White's system. She either just stands in the corner or they set lackadaisical screen. I have not seen her get a good look off of playing off the ball in Stephanie White's system since Stephanie White has been here. So, no, I don't think she needs to adjust. You should have brought the proper pieces in to fit the greatness that they showed last season.
Maurice, that's all I can do, because I'm struggling to find disagreement with the second part of your argument, but
there y'all have it, man. That's just a snippet of what went down on Fearless with Jason Whitlock and Ben Daniels, man. Shout out to those guys again, man. Y'all already know how Ben Daniels is, man. He's one of the best in the game, period. So shout out to him. But look, in other news, y'all, we got Sophie Cunningham exposing DeWanna Bonner to be the low-down, dirty scammer that she is, and how she just did the team dirty and how they felt about her being on the team from the beginning. Let's take a look at what Sophie Cunningham had to say.
Can I give you this scenario?
Yeah.
And I like DB, because like DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix, and then we gathered here into Indiana, and like it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway, and so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like, she's a Hall of Famer, she's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court, but she got to Indiana and she just like really wasn't happy. And like, I want people to be happy, so that's why I'm kind of like neutral on this one, which a lot of people are surprised about. She's towards the end of her career, so like she deserves her flowers, she deserves to be happy. But I also think that if you're gonna leave, like, you're gonna have to expect getting bit. Like,
Was there?
Yeah. Not only if you're not just leave, if you are going to quit on the team and say, oh, you're out for personal reasons and lie, and lie like you did, yes, of course you are going to get booed, DeWanna Bonner. You're gonna get booed. That's just a part of it. Like, stop it. Keep cooking, Sophie. Keep on cooking.
Explanation when it happened? No. Not even privately. Yeah, I mean, okay.
So no explanation for the fans, no explanation to her teammates. She did not even care to explain to them what went wrong, what went on. No explanation at all. She's just above explaining anything to anybody. Knock it off.
That's tough. And yeah, okay. Well, I did say what? Unless you leave on some fuck you type shit, and that's what that is. So.
Yeah.
And it's
But
family, I guess. But like, you gotta get. I mean, sometimes if you're doing things that inconvenience other people, but they're better for you, you have to do it. But let someone know.
But I think there's
say sorry.
yeah.
Say what you're doing.
Yes, I think I'm right there with you. I think I'm still rooting for her. Like, I want her to end her career and be happy. But I also think that, like, it's okay to be professional about it and, like, send a text to your teammates. Send a text and be like, hey, like, love you guys. Or you don't even have to say love you guys. Just like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that.
Wow, look, she said you could send a text. You didn't even send them a text message? Not even a text message? Damn, bro, you low down. You are low down, cold-blooded. Low down, cold-blooded. That's wild. You could not even text your teammates and say, hey, I'm sorry, guys. This just didn't work out. I'm going to move on. It's not you guys. I'm just not happy in Indiana. Indiana isn't where I want to be. It's not you guys. You couldn't even express that to your teammates. You couldn't even say thank you to your teammates for the work that y'all put in together, the relationships they thought they were building. Like, Caitlin Clark thought you was somebody she could be around and look up to and learn from, and you just stabbed her in the back. No text message, no phone call, nothing. Low down, dirty. Flat out. That's low down and dirty, bro. It is what it is. It just is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's anything else. That was nasty work. Very, very nasty work. Let's take a look at, shout out to Trendy Hoop Stars, I Talk Hoops on Twitter. Here it says, ESPN recently labeled the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark rivalry one of the biggest disappointments of the season, and it's not too hard to see why. This is what happens when a rivalry is not organic. Wow. Wowzers. Wow. This is crazy. I'm gonna read this whole thing, man. This is kind of crazy. It's not to see why, hard to see why. This is what happens when a rivalry is not organic. These two had already faced off multiple times before their highly publicized NCAA championship matchup back when Reese was at Maryland. She won all three meetings against Clark's Iowa team, two of which aired on ESPN, yet none were framed as marquee matchups or billed as a budding rivalry. Much of the so-called tensions trace back to their high school days, but if crossing paths at elite tournaments is all it takes, then nearly every top recruit could be labeled a rival. Most elite players run into each other often on the AAU circuit. That alone doesn't build a rivalry. I agree with that. Now in the WNBA, their situations couldn't be more different. Reese joined a rebuilding Chicago Sky team that lost 4 of its top 5 scorers. Clark, on the other hand, landed in Indiana squad that returned all 5 starters, made an 8-win lead. Bro, they won 13 games. We're not about to sit here and act like they was good. They got back-to-back number 1 picks because they was that bad. This wasn't always the case. When Marina Mabry and Kennedy Carter were both active for Chicago, the series was competitive, with Indiana holding a 2-1 edge, each game decided by single digits. But since then, the games have been lopsided. Yeah, because the Chicago Sky stink. Let's fast forward. At this point, the so-called rivalry is largest kept alive by one's fan bases, Clark's, but without structural balance or competitive parity. It has never held much weight. From Maryland wins over Iowa, LSU easily handling Iowa, until the Sky built around Reese the way Indy has around Clark. The narrative likely won't deliver entertainment. Well, at the end of the day, the Chicago Sky just stink, and Angel Reese she's just not good enough to be a rival of Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry. She's just not a good enough basketball player, and y'all have to learn to accept it at some point. It just is what it is. I guess ESPN said this has been one of the most disappointing things. And I'd agree, but Caitlin Clark also hasn't played in these games. She played in one game. She knocked Angel Reese to the floor. Everybody, we had a whole racial investigation opened up, all types of stuff. She's played in one of the games. And Indiana has blown out the Chicago Sky with her, without her, because the Chicago Sky are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. It's that simple. Angel Reese started making layups a month ago, and she's been playing better, but she's nowhere near Caitlin Clark's level, and it's not even close. It's not even a conversation. You guys they was reaching to try to make this a rivalry when, at the end of the day, the two talent levels could not be further apart. They couldn't be further apart. So at the end of the day, you guys, ESPN, y'all networks, y'all the ones that got this, the WNBA, y'all making these teams play each other 5 times in one season. That's ridiculous, but that's y'all decision. Y'all made that decision. So now you have to live with it in the fact that they're not close in talent and the Chicago Sky are bums and Caitlin Clark's been hurt. It is what it is. This is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. Get down in those comments and let me know what y'all think about all this.